Jakarta bustled as always, motorbikes zipping past, food stalls sizzling in every corner, and chatter from shopkeepers echoing off walls. Amid the colorful chaos of Glodok, Jakarta's old Chinatown stood a narrow alley that people unconsciously avoided. At its end was an aging ruko, a small, multi-story commercial building that had never opened its doors. Locals called it Ruko 99. Some claimed it had been locked for over 30 years. It wasn't abandoned. No vines climbed its walls, no trash piled by the entrance. The windows were clean. The red lanterns outside never gathered dust. But no one ever saw anyone enter or leave. Even stranger, the lights would flicker on randomly at night. Rina, a journalism student at Universitas Indonesia, had heard whispers of the ruko since childhood. Her grandmother used to mutter, "Don't look at that place." Eyes can invite things, but Rina wasn't one to be scared. She was ambitious, skeptical, and driven by the thrill of chasing untold stories. When assigned a final year project to cover urban legends, Rina knew exactly what to choose. She grabbed her DSLR, notebook, and voice recorder and headed for Glodok. She started by interviewing nearby shopkeepers. Most were hesitant. One old man selling herbal drinks muttered bad things happened there. Long ago. Fire. Screams. But no one found anything. Just ash. A middle-aged woman selling pork buns shook her head. Sometimes we hear music. Traditional Javanese tunes. But it stops if you try to record it. That night, Rina stood across from Ruko 99. Her camera ready. The alley was narrow, the air unusually cold. She watched. At 2:13 a.m., a soft light blinked in the second-floor window. Then, a shadow moved across it. She gasped. No one was supposed to be inside. The next morning, Rina returned, determined to explore further. She knocked on the wooden door. No answer. She knocked again harder. Click! The door creaked open, as if inviting her. Inside, the air was dry and smelled of sandalwood. Dust floated in the sunbeams, but everything else looked preserved. Old wooden shelves lined the walls, filled with jars containing herbs, dried roots, and unknown things floating in yellowish liquid. An abacus lay on the counter. A calendar from 1978 hung on the back wall. She stepped inside, heart pounding. Her recorder was on, and the camera snapped silently. Then came the footsteps. Soft, measured. Upstairs. Rina froze. Hello. Saya Mahasiswa. I'm a student, just researching urban legends. No response. The steps continued, slow and steady. She took out her phone and texted her friend Yuda, "I'm inside the Ruko. Something's upstairs." She climbed. The second floor was dimmer, with paper lanterns casting a red glow. A phonograph played soft gamelan music. No one in sight. Then one lantern flickered and burst into flame briefly. Rina screamed, but But the fire vanished as quickly as it appeared. In its place stood a child. Or something that looked like one. The girl wore a white kabaya, hair in tight braids, eyes too large for her face. She didn't move, didn't blink. Rena whispered, "Who are you?" The girl smiled and disappeared. Rena stumbled backward and fled the ruko. Outside, morning sunlight poured into the alley, making her doubt what she had seen. She opened her phone to review the footage. Nothing. Every file she had taken inside the ruko was either corrupted or missing. Her recorder, silent. Her notebook, the ink had smudged. She returned to campus and met with Yuta, who stared at her pale face. "You look like hell," he said. "I saw her," Rena whispered. "A girl. But not alive. I have nothing to prove it. Everything erased." "Then we go together tonight," Yuta said. "I'll bring my GoPro and analog cam. Let's see if the ruko erases everything." That night, they returned. Yuta installed a motion sensor near the door and hidden Nix around the shop. The door opened on its own again. Inside, the setup remained unchanged. Rena and Yuta explored every inch of the ground floor, then climbed upstairs. This time, there were voices. Whispers in Sundanese, too fast to catch. Then a scream. A man's voice shouting, "Let me out. She's still here." The phonograph played again, but in reverse. They turned to leave only to find the stairs gone. Only a wall stood where the staircase had been. Trapped, they searched the second floor. The child didn't return, but the room changed. The walls were no longer red and dusty. They were fresh, new. Light poured in from windows that weren't there before. A bell rang downstairs. The shop was alive. A customer entered. Somehow, they were in the past. They watched an old man serve herbs to a coughing customer. The same calendar now marked the date, June 11th, 1978. Then a young woman in a red kabaya entered, her face eerily similar to the girl. The old man stiffened. "You can't be here. Not again." The woman smiled. "You locked me away, father." Fire exploded from her fingertips. The jars burst. The shelves collapsed. Screams echoed. Rena and Yuta backed into a corner. Flames engulfed everything. And then, silence. They were back. The ruko was dusty again. The stairs returned. They fled. Back at her dorm, Rena found her files intact, but the footage showed only Yuta. She wasn't in any shot. Even her voice was absent. She looked in the mirror. Her reflection blinked a second too late. Yuta called, terrified. "I think something followed me. My room smells like sandalwood. And the lanterns, I see them in the corner of my eyes." One by one, Their friends began having nightmares. Rena returned to their herbal drink cellar and begged for answers. He sighed. The girl was cursed. Her father tried to trap her spirit, but she fed on time, on memory. She lets people in to play. Can she be stopped? The man gave her a small paper talisman. Burn this in the shop, but you'll have to trick her. The final night, Rena entered alone. She called the girl. I'm not afraid of you. The girl appeared. You should be. I brought a game. The girl smiled. As they played conclac, Rena lit the talisman. Fire erupted. The girl screamed. Then quiet. The shop's door locked and never opened again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow other horror stories.